Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the TEDxNaperville Salon. My name is Arthur Zards. I am the host and curator for TEDxNaperville. And hello. Today, hold on a second. Sorry, some minor technical difficulties on my side. There we go. Today, we are going to do something very special. We are going to go down south to Nashville. Now, before we get started, I want to do some quick updates for TEDxNaperville. TEDxNaperville is happening this fall. We are going to be sending out some major announcements in the upcoming weeks. The important thing is the event will not be in November. It will be around mid to early October. And being that we're coming out of a global pandemic, this event will be unlike anything you've ever seen before. Our leadership team will be really breaking the rules of creativity to really create something special this year. That I don't want to say anything more. If I keep talking, I'm going to give away a lot of the secrets. But we are pretty much reinventing the event conference experience, and we're really excited, and we'll be sharing that the next couple of weeks. Today we're playing with some new technologies, so we don't anticipate anything to happen, anything to go crazy, but bear with us if there's some minor difficulties. We really want to keep challenging ourselves to really create engaging virtual salons. It's not just a Zoom. We've been on Zoom all day long. We're probably all sick of Zoom. And we're trying some new things today, so please bear with us. If there's some minor difficulties, you might get some minor echoes. And I want to say a big thanks to Jonathan. Jonathan is on our leadership team who runs the digital virtual salons, and he is in Nashville, and he is on site, on location, where we're going to be going today. And I do want to thank our other leadership team members, Bethany, Lisa, Molly, Michelle, Silver, Liz, Nadia, James. TEDxNaperville is not just me. There is a gigantic team behind this to make this happen. You just see me a lot. But there's a lot of people behind the scenes making this happen. And please make sure you make comments and ask questions on the YouTube comment section. We will be bringing up some of the questions into the live stream. And please ask. We're not going to be able to get to every question. There's a lot going on tonight, but please make your comments below. Get some interactive. And to be a little bit selfish, since we are going to be going down to Nashville, if there are any local Nashville people that can recommend some serious good Nashville hot chicken sandwiches, please put that in there for me, because I go to Nashville once in a while and I am looking for a really good local Nashville hot chicken sandwich. So that's my selfish thing. So now I want to bring on our special guest this evening. We're going to be speaking with Buddy Norris. So we can bring Buddy into the fold. Hello, Buddy. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Nashville. Kind of.
Thanks so much. I'm really excited today. I'll just jump right into it. Buddy Norris runs Buddy's Place, and this is a really cool concept. So to start off with the audience, Buddy, what is Buddy's Place?
Let's see, Buddy's Place. I had a friend tell me once that it is a homemade music venue, but I just like to say it's a place where you won't hear crap. So there's a lot of places in Nashville to hear music, but we specialize in bringing in singer-songwriters to come in for an intimate night of music where they can sit and tell the stories behind their songs, sing their songs to a crowd of music lovers in a really quiet space, the living room, and people can hear their stories and get to know the artist on a one-to-one basis. It's a really quiet place to hear music is basically what we are.
And for people that are not familiar with Buddy's Place, this is your house, correct?
Yeah, this is where we do a lot of our shows. We bring in 50 people or so and fill the room with chairs and have a great night of music. This is where the artist would sit when we do a real show. And
So we are actually streaming live from Buddy's Place. So it's not a set, it's not a studio. This is where the magic happens.
Live and in person. Here we are.
That's really cool. And how long have you been doing this for?
We've been doing this for 10 years. We started in January of 2011. Was our very first show.
10 years.
Yeah, I never dreamed we'd be doing this 10 years later, but it is truly a labor of love and just a great passion for me as a music lover. So it's just been a great journey and adventure to hear so much great music over the years. Big blessing.
And how often do you run Buddy's Place?
We do. We average one show a month. Is what we started out doing a show every quarter, and then popularity started, word of mouth started happening. So we started going every other month, and then we started doing every month. So we've been doing that for, I guess, the last 8 years, probably a show every month as we can. Even a Christmas show every year. We've been doing a special Christmas show for the last 9 years. Those are real popular. So Yeah.
Interesting. And do you
People
know?
love it. We'll keep doing it as long as they keep coming back.
Well, that's good news. Do you know roughly like how many shows you've done from your house?
We have done 76 shows total.
Wow.
And have had 95 different artists play. And yeah, it's just been crazy.
And have you ever live streamed any of them before?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever live streamed any of those before?
We live streamed one time, and it was a catastrophe with connections and on our cell phones propped up on the countertop and bad lighting. So yeah, we're not about live stream. I think our magic is all about being live and in person, and you can't duplicate that online sometimes.
Yeah, I was hoping that you said no, so we'd be the first. So that's good enough. Catastrophe, I'll take that. So the big question is, and this is an interesting story, how did this concept start? Did you just like wake up and say, I'm going to have people show up at your house? But how did the whole concept start?
But really, I just hate paying for parking in Nashville. So I didn't want to go downtown and pay for parking and pay, go hear some music. So I just said, I just could bring music into my house. But not really. I did a half marathon in 2006. And to celebrate not dying, me and my friends who did the marathon, we crawled to a restaurant to celebrate. And we had the world's worst waiter. We were dehydrated and starving to death. He would disappear. But it turned out that he was a singer-songwriter, which if you come to Nashville, most of the waiters and waitresses are singer-songwriters. You'll learn that real quick. But we just struck up a conversation. His name was Jesse Terry. We became really good friends. He started inviting me out to his shows where he played. Because I was a big music fan growing up, but I didn't know about singer-songwriters. I had no idea about the whole world of people out there who are writing the songs and creating the music for people, for artists to perform and stuff. So he introduced me to that whole side of things. And I started meeting a lot of his friends at shows and other songwriters, and just developed this network of friends who were all struggling, working odd jobs, trying to make ends meet while they were going for their dreams. And he told me about a concept he had heard about music fans bringing in artists into their house to play for their friends. And I love that idea. And I thought, how can I support my friends who are, valet parkers or walking dogs or waiting tables and stuff. So in January of 2011, I had 24 friends coming to my house. They paid a cover charge, bought some finger food and drinks. And we had 3 artists come in, 3 of my friends come in and play for 2 hours. And it was history began, I guess, or history was made, how you would put it. But yeah, I was hooked. I said, I'm going to do this as long as I can. It was great.
Now, for people that haven't been in Nashville or have never gone through Nashville, is it really that common that the singer-songwriter is so part of is really deep in the culture of the Nashville community that you see? Like basically, if you go to Nashville and you get a bad server, are they automatically a singer-songwriter?
I can't guarantee that, but a lot of times, if you get into a conversation, you will find out there's some kind of relation to music. They've either moved here to work in the music industry or pursue songwriting, publishing deal, or to go the artist route. So it's just been very interesting. I had a nephew who was here visiting one weekend, and we were out to eat, and he was talking about how I find people to do the shows and stuff. And I said, well, I'll bet you that our waiter is a songwriter. He goes, yeah. So the waiter came to the table, and I said, hey, what are you doing in town? What brought you here? He goes, well, I'm a singer-songwriter. And my nephew was like, okay.
So in Los Angeles, if your servers are actors, and in Nashville, the servers are singer-songwriters. That's interesting. Yeah. Now, you said something interesting, and it's in your tagline that says, we don't hear crap. Explain why is that so important to you, and why is it so important to the audience?
Who wants to hear crap? Who wants to come to a place and listen to crap and suffer through music? But I am a self-professed music snob, and I know what I like, and I know the artists that I enjoy. And the 95 people who have played so far at Buddy's Place are not only friends of mine that I've developed relationships with and try to support them, but it's just music I enjoy. My passion is to share that music with my friends who come to the shows, and that the hopes are they will start supporting these people and go to their shows around town and buy their music online. So it's just about I just share music I love, and that's all it comes down to. So
Well, I do appreciate that you're authentic and you say that, it's your style, it's what you like, and you're not going to hear crap versus just, making up some answer that you want to bring in different musicians. So I like that.
Yeah.
Now, with 95 musicians, have any of these musicians made it big, or have had any impact in the music world?
Yeah. Could I name drop some?
You name drop every single one.
Okay, name drop. All right. Well, our first show, we had a guy named Charlie Worsham. He has developed a name in country music. He's an incredible session player, but he has toured with Vince Gill. He did some shows for Tim and Faith. He's got a new record coming out shortly. He's a great artist. Paul Sykes played our first show. He just recently had his first 2 #1 songs as a writer last year. We've had Kelsey Ballerini. She played our second show. She was 17 years old and had just moved to town and was dating a friend of mine who worked at a smoothie store. She came to our first show and he said, my girlfriend writes and sings and maybe she could play. And she's doing pretty well these days. And we had country artists, Brett Young and Carly Pierce. They met at my house, did a show together. And then shortly after, they both were signed to major recording deals and have been, award winners on the country music scene. We've had a Tony Award winner, Levi Christ. He was in a Broadway show called Million Dollar Quartet. Won a Tony Award in 2012, I think. We've had Janelle Arthur, Chris Allen from the American Idol TV show. We've had a lot of people from The Voice. We've had people from the TV show Nashville, Michael Logan, big name in the Americana field, Anderson East, who's a big touring artist now. My mind is whirling.
So you're like Buddy Touch. When people show up at Buddy's place, they become famous. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like if that's a reputation we develop, I'm all for it. So we got all of our artists are listed on our website. If you go to that, you can see everybody that's played over the years. We have them all listed down there. So and links to their websites. If you want to check out who has played and see everybody, they're on there. So
yeah, and for people that are not familiar with Nashville, what genres do these musicians come from?
I will say most of the artists who play are country artists, but we have had Americana, we've had pop artists, we've had people from Broadway, we've had people with roots in R&B, some soul. So we just a little bit of everything. I don't want to be pinned down to one certain genre, but I just tend to meet more of the country artists just because it's Nashville. But Nashville is a music city full of all kinds of music, all styles, anything you want to hear. So yeah, I'm happy about the diversity we have. We have a good group of people to pull from. So when I do shows, I try to do a group of people that complement each other and a genre that complements, the other artists as they meet and can maybe form relationships and write together and stuff. That's that.
Now, how do you find these musicians? Do you just go out to eat a lot and look for poor servers, or?
Well, yeah, I try to go find the worst waiter I can, the worst waitress. If they spill something on me, they get to come play. But now I just like when I met Jesse Terry years ago, back in 2006. I just started going to a lot of his shows, and if I heard somebody I enjoyed, I would go talk to that artist afterwards and just see if they were interested in coming to play a show at my house. I know it's a weird invitation to some people, but we're a legit operation. And but I hear people on social media, Instagram and Facebook. I've seen advertisements where I see somebody's post and I'll shoot them a message and say, "Hey, I really enjoy your music." And a lot of people, I'm trying to think. I volunteer at the Country Music Hall of Fame. So a lot of ways I've met people. I've invited them to the songwriter sessions that we have there on Saturdays. And so, the songwriter will come and, we might do a tour of the Hall of Fame and then do a quick lunch just to get to know each other and see. I love to hear people's stories, where they're coming from, what brought them to Nashville, what their music history is about. So it's just getting to know people and develop relationships. And that just makes the shows a lot more comfortable and just more fun for everybody. So
very interesting. Now maybe a silly question, but what is the difference when you say singer-songwriter? What's the general difference between singer/songwriter? Is there a difference?
Well, yeah, maybe we should ask one of them. I've got some people here who could answer that question for you.
a perfect segue, because if the viewers might have noticed, there was 3 chairs when we first opened up, and you're kind of sitting on your lonesome there.
Yeah.
And I understand that you typically have 3 guests. So
we do.
I'll let you run the show, buddy, of what you have for us today. And this is where it gets exciting. So go ahead. I'll let you introduce your first guest.
Okay, it's time for me to shut up. And so we're going to hear a good friend of mine. We met him several years ago before we even started doing house concerts, and then we reconnected after we started. But he is one of my favorite voices, one of my favorite singer-songwriters, and I'm going to let him sit here in the middle and sing you guys a song. But this is Ryan Larkins.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here. Thank you, buddy. This song that I'm going to sing is about my next door neighbor. I've got this little kid, and he's kind of like Dennis the Menace a little bit. And sometimes he does things that kind of get on my nerves a little bit. And one day he had done that, and I had to write the next day, and I was just telling my co-writers about this kid, and they said, well, he's there for a reason. And they said that he's learning something from you, but you're also learning something from him. So we wrote this song. It's here for a reason. I said you gotta knock, you can't just walk into my 3'4" little neighbor kid. Always touching everything with sticky fingers, windows, walls, refrigerator. And I know his mom works all the time and his daddy's gone, so I'm the guy. But man, he sure does push my buttons, always wanting something. And sometimes I don't know if it's me or it's him doing the teaching. But I've been thinking maybe he's here for a reason. Saturday morning, soon as I woke up, opened the door and there he was. Said his boomerang was on my roof, didn't come back like it was supposed to. And I thought to myself, climbing that ladder, got my own kids to look after. I tossed it down, said, what'd he say? He smiled, said thanks, and went off to play. And sometimes I don't know if it's me or it's him doing the teaching. But I've been thinking maybe he's here for a reason. La 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 la. Somebody at the door, him again. He said I knocked, I didn't just walk in. Big U-Haul truck there behind him, I could tell that he'd been crying. And that's one long hug I'll never forget. He looked back once and I'll admit, sometimes I don't know if it's me or it's him doing the teaching. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if it's me or it's him doing the teaching. But I've been thinking maybe I'm here for a reason. Thank you.
Wow. And for those of that have the comments on YouTube, feel free to put in some emojis or just type applause or clap so that the singer, that's the downside of this whole virtual thing, so people can see some applause. Wow. So Ryan, the question I'm dying to ask is,
Okay.
With all the, and for those that have been through Nashville, I know that there's one, I don't know the name of the street. I'm the tourist from Naperville, but it's just bar after bar after bar, and there's music coming out. It's really cool. I mean, I was there like 8 in the morning on a Sunday, and it was freezing, and there's musicians outside playing. It's really crazy. Why do you choose? There's no offense to you, Buddy, but why do you choose to play at Buddy's place?
How did I choose to play at Buddy's?
Why do you play at Buddy's place?
Buddy is so passionate about songs. He's passionate about songwriters. He believes in great songs, and I love what he's doing. And my first Buddy's Place experience, I was actually just opening a show, just kind of like a tryout kind of thing. And I played 2 or 3 songs, and then I got to sit down, and I was sitting actually on the steps at his house, just watching these great singer-songwriters tell their stories and play their songs. And honestly, it was just a magical experience. I looked around, everybody was just on the edge of their seats. And it was just an experience that I'll never forget. And that was kind of the moment I was like, hey, I'm all in. I believe in this. I'm going to tell everybody I know about it. And my parents, they've been to shows. Several friends have just attended. And I'm trying to tell everybody I know about Buddy's Place.
Now, you said something interesting. You said about sharing stories. I kind of get the feeling, and I could be wrong on this, that when you play the typical bar concert venues, you probably don't get to perform the same stories, or am I wrong on that?
It is very true. Most of the time it's really loud, you got the lights, everybody's drinking beer, having a good time, and it's mostly, there are writers' rounds, but they're usually really loud. And the other thing about Buddy's Place, the people that attend these shows, they are they're fans for life. They're friends, and they're just great supporters of music as well. And so that's another thing that I love about Buddy's Place.
No, it really sounds fascinating, because I know I love music like everybody else, but there is a difference between the honky tonk type of joint. You want to have fun, but sometimes you just want to be a little bit more intentional. Like, I just want to have that one-on-one experience with musicians, and it sounds like that's what you got at Buddy's Place.
It is. It really is. And
how did you find out about Buddy?
Well, I think it was like a show, maybe like 2010. Yeah. And Buddy was there, and it was before Buddy's Place even existed, but he had this vision, and he told me all about it, and I was very intrigued by the idea. And so then I was actually, a couple of years after that, I was at the Country Music Hall of Fame. They had a puppet show, and I brought my kids to this show, and I walked in, and there was Buddy. I said, man, what are you doing here? And
working for free.
Yeah, he was volunteering at the Hall of Fame, and he said, man, we got to have you come and do a Buddy's Place show. And so that's how we.
And there we are.
Yes, sir.
The rest is history.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and I want to remind the audience, there will be an opportunity probably near the end of the salon where we're going to share information for all the singer-songwriters so that you can find more about their music and find out about them. We're probably going to do that at the end. So don't worry about all the musicians. There will be more information on them. So yeah, Buddy, thank you so much, Ryan, for performing. And I think we might see you again later. So Buddy, I think here's a good segue that Buddy's Place apparently is not just you, correct?
I'm sorry? One more.
It's not just you.
It's busy here.
So Buddy's Place is more than you, correct?
Yes. I couldn't do this by myself. As we started growing, I had a partner come in and make it all official. So I want to bring in my business partner, Ellen Huddleston. Tell her side of things. She's the behind the scenes girl. She always behind the scenes. I always threaten her to do some talking, and she always. Tonight's her chance.
So how did you meet Buddy?
So Buddy and I met after the flood in Nashville, the big flood that flooded everything. They for CMA Fest, they asked for a bunch of volunteers so that they wouldn't have to put so much money into employees, so they could give back to the city. And Buddy and I met volunteering. I had just moved to town, and I don't even remember what we did. We were just in the.
We were working. Stanchions. We were like,
whatever it was. We had fun.
We had a great time. Here.
I always joke and say, Buddy is my happy place, and I just thought he was just really a fun guy, and he loved music as much as I did. And so he invited me to his house, and I was like, yeah, sure. I'll be there someday.
Well, music lovers, come hear some music.
Yeah. It was a foreign concept to me. So it was a little different to be invited to someone's house to watch, to see a concert. And since I was a little girl, I have always said, I want Harry Connick Jr. in my living room with a grand piano. That was my dream of my life. If you could give me one thing, is Genie, rub the bottle, that would be what I asked for. So
does anybody know Harry Connick Jr.?
If anybody knows Harry, he can send it my way, but he can come play at Buddy's place anytime. But this is pretty awesome.
And what's your role? What's your role with Buddy's place?
So after I accepted the invitation and came to Buddy's house, that I was like everybody else. I just couldn't believe the magic that happened in that room, and listening to the songwriters and all that. And after I left, I was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. And I was like, I am never missing another show. Every show he has, I'm coming. I think I've missed maybe 2 in all the rest of the years. But after that, I literally had a dream one night that Buddy had a real place, and it was called Buddy's Place. And I called him, and we talked about it. And I said, Buddy, you got to do this. You have to do this. This is a real place. I had a dream. I had a dream.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's my turn
we got to do this, and I'll
Okay.
help you. And he goes, well, okay, let's do it. And I said, wait, really? And so he let me jump on board, and from then we got a logo.
Yeah, Ellen came in and just made us totally official. She, we go ahead. The logo, the logo, the website. We formed an LLC. We became a real legit. This is Buddy's
We got
place.
merchandise. We got T-shirts.
Yeah,
we got all kinds of stuff.
And I would have never dreamed of doing that by myself, or didn't know how or where to even start. So Ellen has really turned things around. That was in 2015 after doing it by myself for almost 5 years. So she's been a huge blessing and just a great friend in this whole adventure. So we've watched it grow and do what it's doing now. So it's just great.
That's neat.
And I have a Naperville connection too.
Yeah.
By the way.
For people that are not from the Nashville area, the reason we're doing this in Nashville is that Jonathan moved to Nashville from Naperville, and during the process, I guess, Ellen, if you want to share that you have a Naperville connection.
Yeah, I have a little Naperville connection. I have family that lived in Naperville when I grew up, all of my growing up years, and we used to come to Naperville like every other Thanksgiving. We would alternate houses, and we would bowl for dishes. The dads would take all the kids out bowling on Thanksgiving Day, and that night we'd go bowling. So I'm not sure what bowling alley I was at, but I was there a lot. And my cousin actually, who she doesn't live there now, but lived in Naperville, actually designed our logo. So our logo was born out of Naperville.
Well, that is so cool. I know a lot of the Nashville people are probably going, where in the heck is Naperville? They have no idea where it is. It's a suburb of Chicago, just to let everybody know that. That's just a really neat connection, because I like we're the unofficial sister city, so we're Nashville and Naperville are connected now, which is kind of cool.
One of my best friends from college lived there too, actually, so I went to see her a lot too.
Excellent. So I guess apparently there's 3 musicians at everybody's place. So Ellen or Buddy, if you guys want to transition us into the next musician.
I'll do it. All right. Well, here's another one of my very favorite songwriters and another one of my very favorite voices. That's all the people that come and play. But I want y'all to meet a great singer-songwriter, Paige Rose.
Hey. Thanks, Buddy, for having us. This is fun. I'm going to do a little song that I wrote with 2 of my good friends. We as songwriters have some songs that we spend all this time on. And this is actually a song that we wrote after trying to write a different song for about 3 hours. And then one time my friend said, I've got this title called Trouble, just about a fun night. And by Buddy's request, this is it. This is called Trouble. I wrote it with S.J. McDonald and Tori Grace. He had a checkered past, but I'm a sucker for red flags, so I drove right through them, never looked back. Yeah, I knew the second he made that move with the boy in baby blues, just what I was getting into. Trouble, yeah, I'm standing on the bar shooting doubles, taking things too far in the past. a Tuesday night, doing things your mama would like. But his lips were just too damn good to resist, hanging on to that Marlboro Red. Yeah, I know I'm gonna pay for this. Trouble got me standing on the bar, shooting doubles, taking things too far. The fate of this big girl, no, you can't get enough of trouble. Love drunk keeps making me stumble. There's a guarantee I'm getting my fix, yeah, and I'm into ecstasy's trouble. That boy's trouble. Trouble taking things too far. Well, trouble got me standing on the bar, shooting doubles, taking things too far. The bait of this big girl, no, you can't get enough of trouble. Love drunk keeps making me stumble. There's a guarantee I'm getting my fix, yeah, and I'm into ecstasy's trouble. That boy's trouble. Yeah.
Thank you, Paige. And in the comments, yeah, please make some little emojis or just whatever you want to do. Say thanks, applause, or right clap or something so that the singer-songwriters can see that. I hope there's nothing, that title of the song, Trouble, in Buddy's Place. I hope there's not a connection there or something. But
Not to my knowledge, not yet anyways.
being that the Buddy, I like the fact that you said that the musicians seem to like that, the fact that the musicians are not just performing, they get to tell stories. So Paige, can you give us a little background story of that song? Give us a little bit more context.
Yeah. We live a lot of life, and I think that it's fun to write songs about your life. And we actually, that night, it was a Zoom write because it was during all the madness of the last year. And we had spent about 2.5 or 3 hours trying to write a different song. And finally, Tori looked at us and just said, should we try something else? And I was like, I don't know, y'all. It's 8 o'clock at night. What do you think? And she goes, well, I've had this titled Trouble, just sitting, and I don't know what it would be. And SJ kind of started playing around with that guitar riff. And I said, let me tell you about this night I had. And the song was born.
Real life.
Real life. That's how you write the best songs, right?
And you did this over the Zoom during the pandemic song?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wild. And how did you find out about Buddy's Place?
So I found out about Buddy's Place actually right after I moved to Nashville. Before Buddy knew me, I knew Buddy. So I had a friend, Savannah, that had played Buddy's Place. And when I first moved to town, the first thing you do is you're stalking every venue. So I saw Buddy's Place and I was like, I have to know what this is. So I kind of became Buddy's like online stalker a little bit.
I've never had a stalker.
So kind of.
Yeah,
that's fair. So I, found his Facebook page, and then he and I became friends on Facebook. And then I think he reached out to me on Instagram and invited me to a show. And I was like, yes, this is it. I'm going to get to see it. And Ryan actually played my first show that I ever attended. And
cool.
I was hooked. I mean, it is truly the most incredible thing I've ever witnessed in Nashville.
And
I admire people who come to a show by themselves, not knowing anything about it. I admired her bravery walking in to a house, out in the country, stop at Nashville. I'm gonna go hear some music in somebody's house. So I applauded her for coming that night. But I'm so glad she did, because she's become one of our favorites at the shows for sure.
It takes courage. Do your neighbors ever complain for the noise? Do you guys create a ruckus there, Buddy?
I've asked the neighbors several times, over the years. I'll tell them we're gonna do this again. I always warn everybody, get ready, because there's gonna be no parking in the neighborhood for about 3 hours. And they've always been cool about it, but they have said they've never heard, anything through the walls, because we're unplugged. We're just an acoustic night, no sound system or anything. It's just the voices and the guitar. In a room, up close and personal. So yeah, I've invited the neighbors, and some of them have actually come.
So everything's always acoustic. So no electronic equipment, no electric guitars, it's just purely acoustic.
not so far in the houses. No, we have done just acoustic in the house. Yeah.
I know I know it's tough for us virtually to get the true experience, but I can only imagine what it's like when you're close to a professional musician, of how different it can be to have that intimate experience. And I wish we were all there right now, but what are we gonna do?
It'd be really crowded, but we can do it. I mean, we've had some packed houses before, so yeah, maybe next time we'll make a plan.
And Paige, what's next for you with your singing and songwriting career?
Yeah, I've got a record coming out later this year that I'm super excited about. Unfortunately, Trouble will not be on it. That's a pretty new song in the grand scheme of life, but I've got a whole record, and hopefully I'll get to play some later after the show. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. There's no release date officially, but I'm hoping in the next couple of months to have the first single out.
Wait, so what I just heard is that everybody watching tonight got to see an up-and-coming superstar in the Nashville music genre that not only has an album coming out. When the album comes out, we can say we saw that song that that's not even on the album. It's so special. So what a cool gift you gave. You gave us a really cool gift. Seriously, that's I like. Thanks for singing that Trouble song. That's cool. I like that.
It's a great song.
And we saw you here first, at Buddy's place.
That's right.
It's true.
I was going to say, it is. Ellen and I are always so excited to see, when one of our artists will sign a record deal or get a publishing deal, or some of them have even been in some Lifetime movies and stuff, independent films. So just to see them see their dreams come true, it's really cool. It's just our motto. I always put on Instagram when I tag somebody, we're always cheering you on. So it's just neat to see them, grow in their dreams and accomplishments and stuff. So very rewarding.
Yeah, you're building a community, a very supportive community, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's great. It's a fun thing. Very great.
So moving on in groups of threes, and thank you so much, Paige.
Thank you.
Apparently you have three musicians, Buddy, so I'll let you take it away from here. Who you have next for us?
All right. Our next guest is another one of my very favorite voices and another one of my favorite singer-songwriters. That's all we have at Buddy's place, but he's from way out of town. But he has become a really good friend of mine and another favorite at our shows. I want y'all to meet Sean Kennedy.
Thank you. First of all, you may have to get subtitles on the screen just to understand me. It's a pleasure to be here. I am originally from Scotland, which is about 4,500 miles away, and it's a long way from home, especially after last year. But I love being here. I came to America to write songs, and that's what I have to keep doing and meet great people. So I'm going to play a song for you. I put an EP out last year during the, as you say, the crazy year that we had. I decided that wasn't going to slow me down, so I put like 14 songs out. And the project was called Let Life Love You. And this song was the title track of that. And basically my grandmother came to my sister in her dream when she was having a tough time. And she said to my sister that the meaning of life is to let life love you. And my sister woke up from the dream and she told me about it. And I just happened to have a guitar next to me, of course. And that's what we do. And I wrote that song, and it became the reason why I wanted to put the whole project together. So it's called Let Life Love You. I took out the street lights, shooting for the moon. I thought heaven was midnight, just lying next to you. But the harder I hold on, hoping love will too. And the things that I wished for, they never did come true. But we all got our broken parts. We all come from different stars. When we're falling through the sky looking for a sign, remember what your mother told you. The meaning of life is to let life love you and let it just flow. Every time that you feel too answer, it's okay that you don't know. You feel so low, you feel so high, you lost something that you held so tight. The meaning of life is to let life love you, yeah. So let life love you. And let it just flow. Ooh. When I was younger, I tried to make it last.
We're so far from Neverland when the world was spinning fast and searching through the broken parts, wishing on the same old stars. When you're falling through the sky looking for a sign, remember what your mother told you. Meaning of life is to let life love you and let it just flow. Every time that you feel to answer, it's okay that you don't know. You feel so low and you feel so high. You lost something that you held so tight. The meaning of life is to let life love you, yeah. So let life love you, and let it just flow. And it's never getting any clearer when we're only looking in the mirror, falling through the sky, looking for a sign. No, no. Ooh. The meaning of life is to let life love you and let it just flow. Every time that you fail to answer, it's okay that you don't know. You feel so low, you feel so high. You lost something that you held so tight. The meaning of life is to let life love you, yeah. So let life love you, and let it just flow. So let life love you. So let life love you, yeah. No, 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 no. Oh, I took out the street lights, just shooting for the moon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Right.
It's a good song.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tomorrow you'll start going.
Yeah, that's the intention
While
of
you're
putting
sitting
an
at your
ooh in. All the bands that love to put an ooh in, that's the reason for it. When you go to the bathroom and you're, yeah.
I can only imagine what it's like in person. I'd get goosebumps just hearing that chorus.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, that's
It came very quickly. As I think the chorus was written in a couple minutes. It was one of those moments I probably I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. Just, I think I'm living far away from home, and it's such a important thing for me. And I use it as my kind of like my roots. And when I plant my feet wherever I go, it's like, okay, I get inspired by family, and that's usually the main thing that gets me going. So when my sister told me that, I was like, oh, this is something. And it came out like that so quickly. So yeah.
To be.
so so you said so quickly that song just like.
Yeah, the chorus was probably the quickest I've ever written something within 5 minutes. It already taken its main shape. I don't know why I would have played those chords. I don't know what the reason is, and that's probably the thing about music, and we'll all agree. Like, the magic's in the cloud. It's the part where you have to show up, because that's what I've maybe discovered that you were here to do that and share and inspire others. That's when you show up. And then I think that you have to walk through the magic. I guess some things are like a title, or maybe a lyric that inspired your friend said something. But I think you just have to walk through it and be there. And there's a reason why my sister had that dream. So it's definitely been a song that's really, I have like some people all over the world that have reached out, and it changed their life. So I'm just here to just be the messenger pretty much, and enjoy it the most. I love it. So.
Yeah, I just think it's so fascinating how different musicians find their song. Some it's like a labor of love over time. Some it's like in your case, there's a dream, boom, and then it just flows.
Yeah.
Now, are all your songs come like that, or are you still working? How do you do?
Yeah,
the other songs?
you do. I just I think in the last couple of years, I decided I knew that you have to just be open to it. And I don't think there's no such thing as a bad song. I don't think that's the case. I just think they're experiences that you just have. And it just depends on which way you interpret it. And for me, yeah, the more I just let it be what it is, I realized that I think I'm here to help other people. That's my thing. And maybe it's just through song. So I don't think there's anything such as a bad song, and you can't fail at anything. You literally can't lose at anything. And maybe the successes, it comes in different ways. When you write the song, that's like you've won already to you, because it's an experience that no one can judge you on, an experience that only you had. That's pretty much where I come from. Yeah. So.
And how did you find out about Buddy's Place?
A few years ago now, I came to 2018. It's almost 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Nashville 2014. A couple of friends moved here, and I spent some time back and forth for 4 years, and then I moved 2018 full time. I went through the visa process, and it worked out for me, and
Made it official.
I made it official. It wasn't just I still look at it like a holiday, because I guess I'm not from here, but yeah, I was playing in the listening room downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You-
saw
you
an
reached out,
advertisement.
you-
Yeah, I saw an advertisement that Sean was doing a show at one of our local music venues called The Listening Room, doing a lunch hour thing. So I heard his music on Instagram or one of the websites, and so I reached out and said, "Hey, are you doing this lunch thing?" So
Yeah.
I went and heard him play at lunch.
Yeah, it was, and that was it. And Buddy invited me to play a show, and like the guy say, like, playing before, it's not like any other show in Nashville, and I've been lucky enough to play, I guess, some cool places like the Bluebird and all that, and it's just an experience that he creates. It's more than anything, and because you have it's genuine. There's no agenda. He's not trying to gain anything out of it, but it's just because he loves it the way that I love writing songs and listening to these guys and all that. And I think that's what makes it special. There's you don't see what you're going to gain out of it. You're just doing it because you enjoy it. Yeah, and it's an experience. That's what it is. There's people here that you meet you've never met before, and you hear new music, and you get to tell a story, and people are listening because the stories are they're so important to the song. Some songs need the stories to be delivered before it. Change someone's life. I don't know. Yeah.
And free parking.
Free parking.
Yeah.
Well, not if you're a neighbor. Apparently,
Free
Buddy's
parking.
Place. You don't get free parking. You can't park.
That's true.
You mentioned something about Bluebird. For people that are not familiar with Nashville, what's the significance of the Bluebird? Is that a well-known venue?
Yeah, and as much you've been here longer than me, as much as I know about it. Yeah.
I've been here 20 years now, 21 years in Nashville, and the Bluebird is just, the staple for singer-songwriters. When you come to town, a lot of, working at the Hall of Fame on weekends, a lot of people come and say, I got to go to the Bluebird. It's just got this reputation of, they foster singer-songwriters. It's a really tiny room. It's impossible to get tickets to now. And the TV show ruined that. We used to be able to go all the time and see, huge name songwriters play. And the TV show Nashville came on, and then everybody comes to Nashville and gets all the Bluebird tickets, and now can't ever get in. So I just started doing my own shows.
One day. Yeah.
There's Buddy's Place. He's a Bluebird.
Yeah.
And the final question is, how do you create new songs during the pandemic? What was your struggle there? How did you overcome the isolation?
2019, I was always planning on putting a project out. And then I don't know, the toughest thing for me was moving away from home. So that's the toughest thing that I know of. I'm grateful and lucky enough that I had a place to live during that time, even though my family were far away. Like, I can FaceTime them, and I do that every single day. But I said, just keep going. Like, if you're not going to write songs, you're going to sit about and wonder when you're going to get home and when you're going to see your family. And it's like, just get on with the thing that you're supposed to do. And I think that's where I came from. And some of the songs that were on my project were written in the first few months of last year. I have a song called What Is Life? And I was like, this is a song I have to write because I don't really know what's going on right now. No one knew. So I just kept going.
Sean is a very positive person. He is, I don't know if I've told him, but during the pandemic, he was very encouraging to me. It was hard for all of us. I think we all know that, but just some messages and talks with him and text messages. And this is his music. He writes encouraging songs and stuff. So, that's how he got through it, by writing some great songs. Good music came out of that. So,
yeah,
it wasn't all bad.
So, a lot of food and alcohol. A lot of food about alcohol and food. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for pouring and sharing, Sean. I know we want to bring in Ellen into the picture because I want to do a segue about the pandemic. Because I know a lot of people are probably thinking, my first thought was, hey, Buddy's Place, a small, intimate place where you get 20, 30 people together. Well, what did you do last year? Because obviously there's some challenges. How did you handle that?
The old pandemic. Well, like I said, we had one, what do you call a show? Virtual show. We had a show in March that was already planned. Tickets were already sold. And then that's when the world shut down last year. So we debated, we wanted to honor, our ticket sales. We wanted to honor the artists who were booked to play. So Sean was one of those artists. So we decided to do a virtual show. So we brought them into the house, and everybody took their shoes off, left them at the door, sanitizer everywhere. We didn't know what we were facing. It was all new, COVID stuff, or Rona, as I call it. Rona was in town. Rona was there. So we spread out the artists, and one was even virtual from her house in another city in Tennessee. And it was just a train wreck. The connection was bad.
Tried.
Yeah, there was a horrible delay. Sound was bad. So we just decided, like I said earlier, this is not what we're about. So we actually just put everything on hold after that March show and didn't really know, what our future held, what was coming. Because we're about being a close-knit group in a intimate space and listening to music.
I got calls from Buddy about every 2 weeks. Do you think we're ready for a show yet? Hey, can we have another show now?
Well,
do you think if we could do it, we could have people there? If they want to come, they could come. I think we should have another show now. And I said, Buddy, no, we cannot have another show yet.
Because I was climbing the wall. I was like, so this is my happy place. Like Ellen said, this is my happy place. This is what keeps me going. I love planning shows and looking ahead. So, I was going crazy, stuck in the house 24/7, thanks to Rona. But we eventually were able to do some shows. You want me to go into that and share?
Yeah. I wanted to see what you did.
Yeah, we I guess April through June, we didn't have any shows. It seemed like 2 years to me, but it's a couple of months. It's a long time when you can do it for 10 years. And one of our supporters, she's a regular at all of our shows, happens to own an Airbnb ranch, which is south of Nashville, called the Cedar Springs Ranch. And she contacted Ellen and I and said, hey, I have an open air barn setting on my property. And she says it's used for weddings and different events. But if you guys would like to consider maybe coming out and looking at the space and seeing if it would work for a show. So I went out one afternoon and it was a perfect space. It's a barn, open air, lots of airflow and everything. So we talked about it and we decided that in July of last year, let's give it a shot. So
we socially distanced responsibly. Yeah. We wore masks. We
did it right.
We made people bring their own chairs to sit in. Mm-hmm. A lot of times at our shows, we have food and drinks. People bring their own. We kind of do potluck, which is also my favorite part is the food. Yeah. Not really. But one of my favorite parts is who's going to bring what.
I missed the free food.
Yeah. So we did no food, no drinks, nothing. And we put X's on the floor. People brought their own chairs and we socially distanced. You could only sit within 6 feet of whoever you came with.
We had everything measured 6 feet apart. So we had a great crowd.
I think the first show we did 30 or 50, 40.
No, we did 50. Yeah.
50
for that one.
Okay, yeah. 50 for the first show. And then we were able to grow it from there as we got a little bit, as the regulations lifted a little bit, we were able to grow the crowd a little bit more and more. And I think the last 3 shows, we've really upped our game now. And now we have over 100 people coming, or 100 people. And
sold out crowd
the last 3 shows. So when we come back to the living room, I'm not sure how we're going to do that.
We got to buy bigger houses.
We are going to get a bigger house.
So what's next? Because you've done this for 10 years, and as things are opening up, what's next? Are you going to expand, stay small, do the same thing? Where do you go? Because you've got the challenge of becoming popular, and everybody knows you now. Parking, there's no parking. So what's next for Buddy's Place?
No parking. I was going to say that Corona, all this stuff. Is it Corona? That doesn't sound right. Rona actually has been a blessing for us. So, it was a rough year, but in Buddy's Place, it was great because we were able to grow our crowds, word of mouth. We had people coming that I don't know anymore. That's always interesting because I used to know everybody that came to a show, but now there's strangers there, and that's good. It's good to see strangers who are buying tickets.
They're friends now.
Yeah. But the ultimate dream is to have a venue or a place that is Buddy's Place. If that's meant to be, it's going to happen over time. But we are sticking with our guns. We're doing what we do. What we're doing is working. I think we both agree our plan is to get back into doing shows in the living room as well as at bigger venues. We were able to purchase a sound system, so we're able to be mobile now. We can go about and do shows in different places, outdoor venues, and we can do spots, do places where people can feel comfortable. But eventually I want to.
Well, the tricky thing for us right now is that we want to keep it intimate. The special thing of Buddy's Place is having people that are quiet and listening and bringing those people in. And so the trick is going to be keeping that intimacy and only having small audiences and not growing to those 100. Those are great. We love having all the people, but it's different. It's not the living room and it's not the house concert.
It's great.
So it's a great show.
We're thankful for it.
And we're very thankful for it. And we're happy to do it. And we love it. But we also would like to have, maybe in addition to that, have some intimate shows in the house.
We don't want to lose what we're about. That's what we're known for. So we're gonna work to keep that as well. So
we don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen, but if it's meant to, it will.
Yeah, it's a real serious challenge, because as you become successful, by the nature of your success, more people are going to come to your Buddy's Place, and you want to get bigger, but that ruins the whole purpose in the first place. So it's a dilemma.
It's a good and bad thing.
We could have multiple sites.
Ooh.
We have multiple places around, but then Buddy's not there at all.
That means you have to talk. Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. So we're gonna slowly start wrapping things up, because we do end at 8:00. However, I do understand that we might be able to stick around a little bit longer after we end the show and actually get more intimate and share some more stories from musicians. So if anybody wants to hang out, but we're going to start wrapping up like our official 8:00 close. The big question I want to ask, again, I think a lot of people, myself included, are watching this and saying, that's got to be the coolest thing ever. How does somebody do that? How does somebody do that, like in Naperville? How does somebody start creating their own Buddy's Place to bring musicians into your home? Because it's this idea sounds so simple, but it's like, where do you start? What do you do?
Well, we're spoiled because we're in Nashville, where all the singer-songwriters are.
Yeah, so, all the bad waiters and waitresses are ready to sing. So it's
it's a little bit, I think, tricky if you're not here. But there are several people that tour. We have a good friend of ours, Stevenson Everett, who's played a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. He tours around and does house shows. So there's definitely the opportunities out there. I'm not sure who else. Yeah. Is there anyone else in our group doing that?
Aaron Enderlin. There's lots of a lot of the people are willing to travel and play. I think in your area, the main thing is to find musicians. Find some. If there's a hotel bars have artists who are playing. A lot of lounges and places have singer-songwriters playing. Check it out. Seek out a singer-songwriter. Talk to people. And what I did, our first show was, 24 of my good friends, close friends that I'm like, y'all just come in. I don't know what's going to happen. We're all in this together. And, they came in as a support to me. And then they told their friends. So it's kind of word of mouth. So, find a circle of friends who are willing to come in and help you move your furniture out of the way. Have a nice little setting and just see what you can do. Bring two or three, musicians that you like. And
one of the things Buddy always says to me is they can't say no if you don't ask them.
Yeah.
Well,
you never know
if you don't ask.
You never know if you don't ask.
I like how simple it can be, where it's just getting the courage for somebody to say, hey, next time you see musicians, saying, hey, do you want to just go play in my house? And it really is that simple. And I really hope that somebody in Naperville does that, because I want to go to a house concert. I wish I was there right now. It sounds like it's the coolest concept, where it's a small, intimate affair, and you can actually be intentional. Listen to the stories. The TEDx platform allows us to do that when we do our events. And for me, some of the most magical moments are when you hear the story, the origin of a song, or you hear what the song means, and it's like, oh my gosh, that song is so much more meaningful. I thought it was just this, but it actually means this. And to create that in an intimate environment, I think has to be really magical.
It changes it for you, for
and
sure.
I think Jonathan's going to pull up some information on how people can get in touch with Buddy's Place and the musicians. So I'm going to just keep talking while he brings that up. What I find really special what you do, Buddy, I love your authenticity, that the train wrecks and that you won't hear crap. And I wish more people were authentic, because by the nature of having a musician at Buddy's place, you already know that it's not crap. So they're already one step ahead.
I'm proud it's not crap.
We actually have, he made how many, 8 or 9 song lists or on Spotify.
Yeah.
That has all of our artists. There's one song list that has one song from everyone that's played.
Yeah.
So if you want some great music, go to Buddy's Place Spotify page. It's on our website, and you can look at there.
It's all our artists on
I
there.
have a Spotify link. Okay.
That's the way to support them.
Yeah.
Another way to support the artist. So
I think Jonathan will bring that up if I know Jonathan's managing. Jonathan's on site for people. Usually Jonathan's in his office, but he's actually on site. There's actually a lot of complex. I just saw his head.
we're live, people. We're live.
To put this event on for the people watching, it actually is quite involved because there's echo issues, there's microphone issues, there's monitors. I can only imagine what it looks like on your side. So while Jonathan's scrambling to put up the images, and it's is it Buddy's Place? What is the URL? Just so we can at least get that out there. It's Buddy's Place.
Our website is buddysplacenashville.com. That's where we keep our calendar updated for upcoming shows. That's where our Spotify, a link to our Spotify playlist is on there. We've got pictures from all of our shows, a slideshow. We've got all
Merchandise.
of our artists that have ever played are listed with links to their websites and their music pages. So you can find out, all about us, Ellen and I's personal bios, dirty details. There's really not any.
No, there aren't. We're pretty boring.
Yeah, pretty boring. But
I do appreciate what you're doing, and I think for me the magic that you're creating is that you're doing this for the passion and the love of connection of music, and the musicians feed off of that passion and that connection between the viewer and the music. And I think that's where life happens. TEDxNaperville is 100% volunteer, just like you're doing. Nobody's in it for the money. And I hope more people are inspired by what you're doing, and somebody takes the challenge and that's going to reach out to a musician, and then we start growing that, and you see those in Naperville, because it's a really cool concept, and I really like what you're doing.
It's been a lot of fun, and I just want to say again, it's real important. I just have a passion for supporting singer-songwriters, because music has just been such a huge part of my life growing up. My family, very musical family. We all love music, and it's impacted aspects of my life, good and bad times. And these people who make this music are so important. Supporting them any way we can is a very, just important. Any way you can, it makes an impact in their world and encourages them. So that's what we're about, trying to keep that going as best we can.
Excellent. And we're going to probably officially end 2 minutes late at 8 o'clock. So we're officially end. So again, the screen's going to stay live, but thanks everybody that was part of TEDxNaperville, and thank you for joining us on this intimate journey into Buddy's Place. And I'm glad you clean up your place. It looks great. We got to see some great musicians. I saw some of the comments, and I just saw the word party foul for Nashville Hot Chicken, and I just love the name that it's spelled, FOUL, like a foul, I think what it was. But
Party foul.
Yep.
That's
a good place. It's a good place.
Good. The thumbs up. That's my list for. I just love Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. That's my go-to out here in Naperville.
Hattie B's is a good place.
Hattie B's or Prince's.
Princess Hot Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken has a hot chicken sandwich. I'm just kidding. I just had thumbs down.
Shame on you.
Arthur?
Yes.
I cannot get it to come up because I'm using 2 computers and I don't normally use to do this because I went live and it's just not letting me share the information. So we will share the information. I will get it into the clip.
Great.
And we'll also put it up there as well with the stuff, okay? I'm sorry. The one thing I didn't anticipate.
And one thing to do, we will email everybody that registers for a ticket. We'll send an email at links to Buddy's Place and links to the Spotify playlist too. So if we can't get it here, you will get an email tomorrow morning with all that information, because it really is important for us to let the musicians, to let people know how to get contact. But so Buddy, I'm gonna have a drink of water. I'm gonna put my feet up on my desk, and I'm gonna kind of turn the reins over to you.
Right.
And if you're up for the next 30 minutes or so,
yeah,
bring us into Buddy's Place and run the show. Because I want to finally relax, and I want to hear more music.
Kick your shoes off. We're gonna have a mini Buddy's Place house concert. So if you want to stay around and watch, we're gonna bring up Ryan and Paige and Sean, and they're gonna do a couple of rounds. And yeah, y'all get to see what a Buddy's Place show is like. So I'm gonna bring these guys up, and we are gonna step away. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting
thank
us share our story. It was a good time. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to. I am going to put my feet up on my desk like right now, and I'm going to sign off and enjoy the show.
You do it. Take care.
Like sit in the middle, I don't have to go first.
No pressure.
Yeah. At this point,
Right.
somebody has to decide who goes first, and then
Ladies first.
Nope. I'm sitting in the middle. I don't have to go first.
Go.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, now.
Okay, that's a fairly new song with the weirdest title. It's called Drive-By Kisser.
Sure.
Quick story, I won't try not bore you too long, but I'm sure you're interested to know where Drive-By Kisser came from. When I was in California, my friend, the family dog, its name is Cash, which is a fairly good name for Nashville. But our dad calls the dog Drive-By Kisser randomly, because when the family are together and the dog wants to go to his bed, he makes sure he kisses every single person before he goes to his bed. So our dad calls the dog Drive-By Kisser, and I was like, great name for a song. So I was like, how are we going to make that work? So I had an idea of, I found out Tokyo was one of my #1 cities for my music, and I always wanted to go. So I thought, why not a long distance relationship with a girl in Tokyo? So that's called Drive-By Kisser.
I woke up from a dream last night, and we were driving under neon lights, and your hand and your long black hair were flowing out the window. We wandered through the downtown square, and I could feel love is in the air. The cherry blossoms falling all around you. In Tokyo, and the sun is on the rise, waking up without you by my side. You say you're coming back again. I know leaving never ends. I know it feels like we both go missing, but just a drive-by kiss in love. Ooh. Ain't nobody gonna change our minds. We travel back and forth a million times, and when you smile and you say goodbye, I don't feel so lonely. In Tokyo, and the sun is on the rise, waking up without you by my side. You say you're coming back again. I know that leaving never ends. I know it feels like we both go missing, but just a drive-by kiss in love. In Tokyo, a drive-by kiss in love. In Tokyo, I said I'm never ever gonna let you go. The way we fall in love in Tokyo. Said I'm never ever gonna let you go. The way we fall in love in Tokyo. Ooh, a drive-by kiss in love in Tokyo.
yeah.
For the betterment of everybody, I'm gonna tune this up real quick.
By the way, you should show everyone your boots.
Yeah.
Your shoes.
The green.
It says the coolest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's our favorite color.
There you go.
My dad makes fun of me. I have bookcases that hold all my shoes. I am a shoe collector by every picture of the imagination. I'm actually going to play also kind of a newer-ish song. My parents sold my childhood house about a month ago, and I didn't take it well, to say the least. I didn't move around a lot as a kid. We moved into that house when I was 2. I'm 24 now, so that tells you how long they've been there. And it was kind of one of those things, when my mom told me that they were going to sell it, she just kept saying, honey, it's just a house. It's just a house. all those memories that you made there, they're gonna stay with you. And I wrote this little song about how it wasn't just a house. There's a crack in the table from when I tried to make it a stage. A worn-out chair from watching too many football games. The countertop where I did my best to get straight A's. And the living room where we always said grace. I never thought that would change. Well, yeah, I know there's more than material things, but you don't know what I learned in this place. Like family gets you through all the highs and lows. And it's hard, but some things you gotta love and let go. Is life bigger than that town? I know it's just a house, but it'll always be my home. With the back fence that I tried to climb when I couldn't find the key. The driveway where I figured out love was more than a backseat. And where I first yelled at God 'cause he wouldn't answer me, it built me up piece by piece. Yeah, I know there's more than material things, but you don't know what I learned in this place. My family gets you through all the highs and lows. And it's hard, but some things you gotta love and let go. Is life bigger than that town? And I know it's just a house, but it'll always be my home. Yeah, I know there's more than material things, but you don't know what I learned in that place. Like family gets you through all the highs and lows. And it's hard, but some things you gotta love and let go. It's not bigger than that town, and I know it's just a house, but it'll always be my home. Oh, I know life's bigger than that town. And yeah, it's just a house, but it'll always be home.
It's a great song.
Put me in my feels there, man.
I know, for real.
Don't cry on the screen.
Yeah, this has been so much fun already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. This first one that I'm going to do is a song I wrote about my wife. And one time I was working this job I wasn't crazy about, and she kind of saw me like not playing my guitar as much, singing as much, and I was kind of a little bit depressed, and I didn't know if anything was going to work out. And she just said, you know, you're put on this earth to share your stories and tell your, you know, and sing your songs. And so she said, tomorrow you're going to go in, you're going to quit your job, and we're just going to take a step of faith. And so a few months later, I signed my very first publishing deal. Yeah. And so I owe so much to her, and I wrote this song with Jesse Alexander and JT Harding about her. Yeah. This is called The Fence. One day I'd had enough. My heart can only take so much. I'm a fix a problem kind of man. Took matters into my own hands. Loaded up my truck with 2x4s. Dug the holes and poured the concrete. One nail for every tear. My heart was safe in here. It was built for the long haul, just as sturdy as it was tall. No way out, no way around. No one was gonna get to me. But that fence round my heart kept my world pretty dark, kept the loneliness in. Wasn't no way to live, but girl, you got close enough to see your way through my tough. When I had given up, you had faith. I built a fence, you built a gate. No, you weren't scared at all. Your touch was a wrecking ball. My stubborn wasn't smart as you. You knew just what to do. Now I see what I was missing out there on the other side. Yeah, that fence round my heart kept my world pretty dark, kept the loneliness in. Wasn't no way to live, but girl, you got close enough to see your way through my tough. When I had given up, you had faith. I built a fence, you built a gate, and love poured in. And pretty soon I won't remember when. That fence round my heart kept my world pretty dark, kept the loneliness in. Wasn't no way to live, but girl, you got close enough to see your way through my tough. When I had given up, you had faith. I built a fence, you built a gate. I built a fence, you built a gate.
That's a beauty, man. That's so good.
Ooh, thank you, thank you.
That's great. Okay. There's a song I wrote a few years ago. Classic, not released yet. It's one of those ones where I don't know when it'll happen soon. But yeah, I think it makes sense for I guess where I'm at in my life and where I'm living. It's my mum's birthday today, so I'm sure she's probably in her bed sleeping. But
I'll ask if she's watching.
I'll have to say like happy birthday, Mum, when your birthday was a couple weeks ago. She'll probably see it. It's going to be on YouTube, so I guess you can watch it back. So yeah. Okay, that's called Not Giving You Up.
You might be 1,000 miles away, and there's nothing I could do to make you stay. And we've walked to the moon and back, and we just can't stop like that. My heart, it won't rest. I'll do my best, 'cause I'm not giving you up so easily. Wherever it is I need to be, 'cause I'm not giving you up. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. Wherever it is you're heading to, packing my things and fly to you, 'cause I'm not giving you up. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. I know for sure that we want something, 'cause you promised me that you're not running. And we set the world on fire, but this flame ain't getting any higher. If this world really turns, then my heart still burns, 'cause I'm not giving you up so easily. Wherever it is I need to be, 'cause I'm not giving you up. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. Wherever it is you're heading to, I'll pack up my things and fly to you, 'cause I'm not giving you up. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. Yeah, right from the start, you left a mark. Just one spark could light up the dark. Don't let it die, keep it alive. We don't plus, we multiply. Right from the start, you left a mark. Just one spark could light up the dark. Don't let it die, keep it alive. We don't plus, we multiply. 'Cause I'm not giving you up so easily. Wherever it is I need to be, 'cause I'm not giving you up. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. Yeah. Wherever it is you're heading to, I'm packing my things and fly to you, 'cause I'm not giving you up. No, 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 I'm not giving you up. Not so easily. No, not so easily.
Thank you.
What is that coming out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Classic, yeah.
That's a driving song.
It's a drive, yeah.
That is a drive.
Countryside drive. Yeah.
Well, I talked about how I've got a record coming out this year. This is actually going to be the second single coming off of that record. I went through a pretty complicated breakup last year, and I don't have a bunch of love songs. So I'm happy that you two are kind of covering that. That's not really my market. But it kind of felt like both of us had to be right all the time. And I wrote this song with two of my very best friends, Nicole Miller and Natasha Myers. This is called Can't Wanna Break Up. Your hand on her waist, whatever it takes to make me jealous. My hand in his, but you pretend you don't even notice. I'm still wearing your t-shirt, 'cause it hurts you to see me at it. We tell our friends that we call it quits, but we won't forget about it. 'Cause we both wanna be the last one standing. On the inside, when the door slams, we wanna make it good. Get the last word. We'll both do whatever it takes. We can set the higher stakes, as if losing us wasn't enough. You can't win a breakup. Want you to be happy, but not if you're happy with somebody else. And we be happy if we could just learn to be by ourselves. I'm still wearing your t-shirt 'cause it hurts me to slip out of it, and nobody knows better. So somebody surrenders, but we both wanna be the last one standing on the inside when the door slams, and wanna make it hurt. Get the last word. We'll both do whatever it takes. We said the higher stakes, and losing us wasn't enough. You can't win a breakup. Your hand on the waist, my hand in his. Want you to be happy. We could be happy, but we both wanna be the last one standing on the inside when the door slams, and wanna make it hurt. Get the last word. We'll both do whatever it takes. 'Cause at the higher stakes, if losing us wasn't enough, you can't win.
That's a good one. I love that. This next one I'm going to do is a song I wrote with Monty Criswell and Jesse Alexander. And Monty, he'd seen this truck on Facebook. In the back of the truck, there was a casket, and he thought it'd be a good idea to write a song called "Last Ride in the Truck." So yeah, that's his last ride in the truck. One day I'm gonna run out of time on the clock. They're gonna lay this good old boy in an old pine box. And on the day that they do, don't put me in a tie, don't dress me in a suit, give me old Levi. He's been around worn out boots, drive me around town in a two-tone Chevy, dust from the back roads, mud from the levee, long line of headlights running in red lights, country on the outlines, cranking on up. Hey y'all, leaving that white church, please don't slide me in a black curtain, send me off in style and say goodbye. I want my last ride in the truck. Roll me to the little brick house where I was raised. And won't you four-wheel drive me past the river where I was safe. Take a picture of me and my buddies on the dash, stick a no beer sticker on the window in the back. Take your time. Go on, burn up all that gas. Drive me around town in a two-tone Chevy, dust from the back roads, mud from the left, long line of headlights running in red lights, country on the outlines, crank it on up. Hey y'all, leaving that white church, please don't slide me in a black curtain, send me off in style and say goodbye. Last ride in a truck. Man, it's gonna be a sight for miles and miles. I bet it makes everybody smile when you drive me around town in a two-tone Chevy, with dust from the back roads, mud from the levee, long line of headlights running them red lights, country on the outlines, crank it on up. Hey y'all, leaving that white church, please don't
say goodbye. One last time, hammer down and let her fly. I want my last ride in the truck. I want my last ride in the truck.
Anyone cut that song yet? Has anyone cut
No,
it?
no, that's good.
It's a beauty, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so we do one more song around each. Yeah, cool. There's a song called "I'll Be Happy." Intentionally wrote this song for the gal in town, and she didn't like it, so I think I'll do it. So I'm like, cool, I'll do it. So I just changed some lyrics, and yeah, my granny, when she was still here, God bless her, she said, "Hey, when you should wait for that right person until that person comes around, and in the meantime, you're gonna have some good friends. You're gonna have your family." So that's called "I'll Be Happy." Thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for putting us together. And we do have some people in the audience, and it's a pleasure to play with you guys.
Loud crowd.
Rowdy crowd, yeah. Nashville crowds, man. Oof.
I'll be happy when I finally settle down. That's what they say back in my hometown. But hell, I'm in no rush to find somebody to keep me warm at night. Even if it takes my whole damn life, well, that's just fine. Oh, I don't need nobody to tell me I need saving. Sometimes I get lonely, but at least I'm wild and free. 'Cause I've got some friends that love me, I got my family. At least I'll be happy. I'm gonna be happy. Yeah, good enough. It ain't good enough. I think I found the one, but she don't fit like a glove. So until I find the one who loves me to my bone, I guess I'll just be selfish, sitting here on my throne. Oh, I don't need nobody to tell me I need saving. Sometimes I get lonely, but at least I'm wild and free. 'Cause I got some friends that love me, I got my family. At least I'll be happy. I'm gonna be happy, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be happy, yeah. But you won't find that hero who sweeps you off your feet. But you might find your Superman if you love me just for me. I don't need nobody.
See Buddy like 40 times in that song. Buddy, buddy.
No, 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 no. Oh, I don't need nobody to tell me I need saving. Sometimes I get lonely, but at least I'm wild and free. 'Cause I got some friends that love me, I got my family. At least I'll be happy. I'm gonna be happy, 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 yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna be happy, yeah.
It's a happy song. And I'm going to play a drinking song. It's going to be
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Happy drinking.
Yeah, happy drinking. This is going to be my first single that's coming out here in the next few months. I wrote it with my friend Harolyn. We were laughing about horrible dates that we had been on. And I'm a girl who likes whiskey and bourbon. And once upon a time, a trillion years ago, it feels like, I went on a date with this guy that had a lot of opinions on that, none of which were positive. And we were just laughing about it. And she goes, "You sing country music. We have to write a song about it." So this we did. It's called Whiskey Drinker. It goes like this. I used to sip champagne in the corner and leave a lipstick stain on the rim. I had my legs crossed, lips closed, waiting on your cue to go. I always went along with what you did, but now I'm over it. So pour me up something strong. Tonight I'll be here till it's cold. 'Cause Jack knows just what I'm needing, and Jim won't judge me for being a girl who takes her crown on ice. Looks like I'm a whiskey drinker tonight. If you were here, you wouldn't recognize me. I'm saying cheers to who I was before. No more white wine or red dress, wearing Levi's instead. Don't care what you think of me no more. No more, no more, no more. So pour me up something strong. Tonight I'll be here till it's cold. 'Cause Jack knows just what I'm needing, and Jim won't judge me for being a girl who takes her crown on ice. Looks like I'm a whiskey drinker tonight. Tonight. No umbrellas, don't want chasers, nothing frozen, only straight up. Well, I'm done trying to be polite. 1, 2. So pour me up something strong. Tonight I'll be here till it's cold. 'Cause Jack knows just what I'm needing, and Jim won't judge me for being a girl who takes her crown on ice. Pour me up something strong. Tonight I'll be here till it's cold. 'Cause Jack knows just what I'm needing, Jim won't judge me for being a girl who takes her crown on ice. Looks like I'm a whiskey drinker tonight. Thank you.
Good one. That's a really good one. That's one right here. Well, it's been so much fun. Thank you, Buddy and Ellen, for having us, and thanks everybody for tuning in. And
Thank you.
It's been an honor to share the fireplace with y'all.
It really
And this last one I'm going to do is a song that I just wrote with a couple of friends of mine. I tried to write it with a few other people, and it just wasn't the right thing. You know, a few people said, I just don't know about that idea. And then wrote it with a couple of friends of mine, and I'm just so thankful that I did. And it's called King of Country Music. You can hear him in the church house on Sunday morning. They still play it on the radio. You can hear his voice from Saginaw to Houston. It echoes down the halls on Music Road. And some say Jones, some say Travis, some say Strait, some say Haggard. Sitting on the throne. Oh, that's well and good. Don't country music is the song. Speaking for the 9-to-5ers in the trenches, makes him feel like he's right there with them too. It ain't the steel, it ain't the fiddle, it ain't that right in the middle. It's just 3 simple chords and the truth. And some say Jones, some say Travis, some say straight, some say Haggard. Sitting on the throne. Oh, that's well and good. Don't get me wrong. The king of country music is I saw the light, I walked the line, and Amazing Grace. It's always on my mind. Stop loving her today. And some say Jones, some say Travis, some say straight, some say Haggard. Sitting on the throne. Oh, that's well and good. Don't get me wrong. King of country is the song. Long live the king of country music.
My mute. I was so relaxed with my feet on my desk, but my mic was muted again. Thanks so much for sharing. You know, I'm following you all on Instagram right now. And if any one of you are in Naperville, get in contact with me. And it's funny, Buddy, because I know that you're doing this. I at least for me, I really got a sense, maybe not the full experience, but just being part of this, I feel kind of like I know everybody, and I feel the connection with the music, and I get what you're doing and why you do it. But really, I don't know what else I can say. I want to thank everybody so much for doing this. And by the way, for the musicians, check the comments section. And then, Buddy, if you're watching the YouTube comments, the people commenting had some really great comments and really some heartfelt feedback for you guys. You probably have gotten that before, but it's nice to see what people are feeling about the effect of your music and what you're doing tonight. And it's some really great comments. I do want to remind people that, especially for the Nashville audience, since we're now unofficial sister cities, go to TEDxNaperville.com, sign up for our newsletter, because this experience on this salon really has our entire team was already chatting with what else could we do with music, what else can we do virtual, how do we build connection, and we like to do some really creative things with our event, and I see this as the beginning for us. Jonathan's been doing a great job of producing and pushing the envelope on what we can do. Jonathan. And shout out to Jonathan. Get in the picture, Jonathan. Where's Jonathan?
Come on, make your appearance. Hey! He's out of town too.
But Buddy, I think UNL and there really is something there special, and I think we captured a little bit of that. And I think you really inspired our team to kind of see what we could do to create that magic here in Naperville. So I've already got some ideas of getting some musicians and trying to find them and just asking. So we'll see.
You never know if you don't ask. That's all you can do.
No, but thanks again for everybody. Thanks, Jonathan, for I know how much work.
Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody so much. And I'm going to sign off. And everybody that got the free ticket will get an email tomorrow with information, with links to follow you, Buddy, to find out when your next show is, and for all the musicians to follow you guys on Spotify and your websites. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this. And thank everybody that's still sticking around.
Take care.